This is Rod Kusanen, Spooman for Risk on Friday morning, September 9th, 2010, all times on the Charter Central Standard Time. We've been doing a series of live videos this morning. We had to take a break to assist one of our traders, and so we missed the opportunity to call what was going to happen here. This is where we ended our last discussion. We were looking for a short trade down to at least these retracement levels, which, as you can see, obviously were hit. And if you haven't watched the 3 preceding videos, you will want to do so before going into this video, because I don't really have time to explain everything that's already happened. We explained that in the 3 preceding videos. So I need to bring us up to date based on where we were last. And so what I'm going to do here is just take this line out to present time. Okay, now that's where we expect the spoos are going to retrace to. Now let's take a look at the indicator. Okay, sorry for the delay. I've had several interruptions this morning, and quite unfortunately haven't been able to keep up with our videos. So I'm going to try to just run through a real brief recap of what is going on currently. We're behind the curve here from the standpoint of time. So let's just follow through and look for the setup for the long trade here. The target there was 1102.50 off of some low that's coming up here. So this bar is indicating we're still going lower. Let's just wait till we do. We're negative on these bars, so we're not going to do anything. We're looking to go lower. And then right in here, okay, that's negative. We now have a positive bar above our threshold line, so we have a potential long trade right here, and then just a few ticks later right here. Okay. All right, so there's our long. Now, as we ride this up, we're going to look at a couple of things here that are predictive for later on during the day. This bar right here is predictive. It suggests that we should be returning to that price. Now let's go down to here. This too looks like a predictive bar. Another bar from which to expect some sort of a retracement. So, based upon those 2 lines, we look for a retracement back to that price, and that's exactly what happened. Now here, the low was at 99.50. We didn't get to 99.50 here, so that line remains. This line, however, ended right there. Okay? Now, let's move along. Here we have the, and by the way, okay, by the way, if you hadn't been in a long trade, here's a perfect opportunity for another one, because look at the bar here, right there. We're right above, we're quite a bit above the threshold line on a positive bar, so we have another option there to go long right in here. We'll just kind of cut to the chase. We have this nice run up to where we predicted the Spoos would go. Let's move forward and see a little bit more about where we're headed. Pardon me. Okay, that's predicted. There's a pivot bar right here. Should be continuing to go up above 250. Let's just move forward. Okay, we've done that. Okay, we're moving above, based on this bar, above 3, and that's exactly what happens. We continue to go above 3. Are we going to continue to go above? Well, let's see if we've got a setup here for the short in real time. All right, now we do have some, I'm going to move back here. We have a retracement to this level. And that already did it. I'm up to here. Over here. Okay. So what about the short here? We've moved up to a high. We're dropping below the threshold line. We're at a new high. There's a short right there. Right there. Very easy to see. All right, let's watch that develop, and we'll come back and if we have anything that's developing that's telling us we need to take action to protect our trade, we'll come back and talk about it. Okay, see this bar right there? Now, we can't say that it's necessarily going to go higher, but we have to be very cautious here. The slope on our indicator was up, at least for the time. Now we're dropping back down below the threshold line. So another option, another trade here would have taken place right there. Same price. Okay, the market is pretty much sideways movement. We don't really have anything that's been going on since those short trades that is in and of itself especially predictable right now. This low here indicated that we would be going at least back to 225. We did that. There's nothing predictive here, and we have nothing that's really predictive in here either. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting for this to drop. Every time we get a slope down, we're hoping that this will carry on and move the market down to our predicted price. So we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, well, we're getting a move back up, so let's take a look at where the yeah, right in here you see the we didn't let's look at this closely in case we missed something here. Okay, I don't see anything that we missed. You know, it's just a general move up here, this bar here indicated a move up potentially, but we didn't really see any setup. We didn't see an indication that the Spoos were going to return to any particular price here. So in the absence of that, other than this bar here, that indicated that we'd be going back up again to 1103. Okay, that was a pivot bar, 1103. And the high here, 375. Hard to say what was going to happen, but as soon as you saw 1103 as being an indication that it was going to return to that price, and you look at what the indicator is showing you, there's a strong move up there. Okay, so again, action has to be taken to protect this trade from either being stopped out or losing. And right in here it was real clear. So now once again, you're basically back to the same price that we were at before, 375, and there we are, dropping below. We're dropping below the threshold and we're negative. So the strategy would once again be pulling a short trade in here based upon the rules. Now, as you know, we don't have this programmed yet. This is all in its developmental stage. We aren't really going to be able to get the programming of this started for at least the next 10 days. Our programmer is out on a bike ride. So in the meantime, we'll just continue to observe and nail down the rules that we'll need him to apply in order to get this programmed correctly. But the rules again for taking the short trade, we need to be at a new high of some sort. We need to be below the yellow line, and we have to have a negative slope with negative bars for the short. There you have it. Now, could this have been a long trade? Normally, I would not take a long trade. The reason for that is I don't see a setup here. The rules that we use for seeing a setup for a long trade are not clear right here. That could have been if we were to adjust our rules, but I don't see it. So here there is an indication of a potential long trade, but that's all we have. And again, in here we see it moving up. So it looks like it wants to go up a little bit higher. Okay, looks that way. So if you were trading this, you'd want to have a tight stop, because right now, okay, well, that still isn't. We still don't have a. All right, let's revisit that. This bar right here, okay, it isn't predicting as much as it isn't matching our expectations. What we should see here, we should have been below the line. So there's a possibility now, because this was above the yellow line and positive, we could be going higher. So it might be a good idea to dump that trade in its entirety. It might be a better idea to do that. At the same time, if you look at the slope here, looking at these highs, see what's happening? the high of the indicator is continuing to drop. If we're taking a trade, we want to be at a new high or an equal high.